All right, as you guys know, I've had this weird obsession with aviators that I have not had in years because I've never been a huge fan of them personally. Now, all of a sudden, I like them. I'm sorry. Today, we're going to talk about Leisure Society's take on it in the Maggiore. Absolutely beautiful piece, but let's break down, look at some of the details, and see how she looks, how she wears, how she feels. So, on that note, now that I look a little bit cooler, or stupider, in your opinion, whatever, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below, smash the like button, all that fun stuff. Would highly appreciate it, as it keeps the channel going and helps support these reviews for these beautiful and exclusive designer pieces of eyewear, as well as us continuing to give you tips on how to take care of and maintain and get the absolute best life possible in both comfort and care of the frame. Now, this one, the Leisure Society Maggiore, Maggio, whatever you want to call it, is a really incredible piece. I, as I mentioned, have not in the past been a huge fan of aviators. This one in particular does some really cool stuff. It's the attention to detail, the very soft shape, a little bit of a translucence to it. This one is the blue and 12 karat silver frame. Really nice. These guys are going to run about 670 with the sun lenses, or around 600 to 650 with the regular clear lenses. I think in the other colorways you can get a little bit more expensive with the sun lenses, depending on the exact options on that. This one in particular, sizing, what's a little bit different with these, we have a much wider bridge than a traditional aviator will. This is a 56i, a 19 bridge. Your eye size is, of course, how big that lens is. The bridge is, of course, the bridge over the nose, how big that area is. You do have the ceramic and 12 karat plated nose pads with the laser etching detail that coordinates with the branding as well. Kind of that classic double bar, but this double bar flows nicely. There's no interruption. It really bridges that gap from the entire top, encompasses that flow across the top of the frame. That's well thought out. Adds some nice negative space across the brow line. Really good just use of all of that, in my not so humble opinion these days. Riveted for the hinges to the temple, always nice to see. And the rivets themselves actually are really cool. There we go. Just a very nice detail. Everything is really well thought out on these because even the screws are entirely set to be flush. So you have a very well manufactured piece of eyewear. Generally, these are not going to back out either, so I haven't run into too much trouble with that. And I am running into more trouble with the camera today. I really love this one in particular. There's a reason I grabbed this colorway in this frame, and that is that translucence of the blue. But you still have that solid titanium core, which is just unheard of. It's crazy to see such, but it rims out this entire frame. You maybe can't quite see it on the camera here. I can hold it up to the light and see it. But we have this almost floating encasement. It kind of has that Blake Kuwahara-esque feel to it, where it's a frame within a frame. And just like in the case of Blake Kuwahara, it really is a frame within a frame. You've got your solid titanium frame, you've got your acetate frame. It is a whole freaking frame. It is not inserts in the eye wire, it is a true acetate front. Your hinges for the temples are heat sunk into the acetate to show you just how much of, yeah, a full frame is going on there. Overall sizing, I'm gonna give it kind of a medium to a large. Fits on my face pretty well, but a little bit large for some people's taste, right? And it's all goes across the board. I think it's a little bit small on the aviator scale, but I know some of you have a very different opinion when it comes to that. One thing I also always like to throw a nod to, and we see it more in the Japanese factories than anywhere else, the temple tips on here have a little bit of a laser etching to it. It's not hand filed in or machine filed in like we generally see. There's a very strong cross hatching here. I know I'm not going to be able to get that to show up on the camera. We're sure going to try. Well, there you go. A little bit, you can see it. Which is nice because it adds a lot of extra grip behind the head. When these are properly fitted and adjusted, it's going to snug down back here. but that texture adds a little bit more grip and resistance to slippage. And nobody likes slippage, whether it's trading stock slippage or your glasses slipping down your nose slippage. Slippage is bad. We don't like it with anything. Now, of course, it does have their little signature logo detail right there. Frame front detail, which, you know, some of these don't have that, but it is what it is. Very beautiful piece. Really like how this one's done. And yeah, if we can get it, there you go. You've even got some detailing within on the titanium core that's behind the acetate. You're not going to see that in the other colorways. That is one of the reasons I grabbed this blue 12 karat over some of the others. Now, if you thought this was good, let me know your thoughts. If you thought it was terrible, please tell me why. I can't get better without feedback, right? So, anyways, that's all I've got for today. Let me know your thoughts on the Maggiore, that frame. I'll catch you guys next time.